Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little different from the ones that I've done before. We're going to talk about all my favorite products from 2023. Not all of them, most of them, or else this would be an extremely long video. So I'm not going to do a tutorial with this one just because I feel like this video is probably going to be long enough. Let me just mention that the price range of these products is going to vary tremendously, all the way down from a couple dollars to about $100. And that's just because all my favorites are not from the drugstore. And some of these are splurges. None of them you have to have. These are just my personal favorites from this year. Let's get started. All right, first we're going to talk about a couple perfumes. I've just recently got into perfumes. Two of them that I've really been loving is the e.l.f. Vanilla 28. Some people aren't vanilla people. I'm vanilla people. But it's not a super sweet gourmand category of perfumes where it literally smells like you're smelling sugar. I don't really care for those too much. This one is a little sweet, but it's definitely not gourmand. It's just got a vanilla, a little bit of a musk scent. And then the other one I've really been enjoying is the Lancome e.l.f. Nectar. And it's a little floral, which I usually don't like floral, but it's kind of a sweet floral and it's beautiful. I love both of those. They've been on the regular rotation. Okay. Next is my go-to dry shampoo. The Living Proof Perfect Hair Day dry shampoo. I haven't found anything that comes close to it. I feel like most dry shampoos either give you this like really white cast in your hair, or they make it look a little greasier, like it's got a little bit of oil or something in it. At least on my hair they do. But this is a good in between. It doesn't put a white cast on my hair and it doesn't make it look greasy. It actually feels cleaner after using it, and it does give the hair just a little bit of grip, but it doesn't feel like your hair's now full of product. Next product I'm going to talk about is nail polish. Current favorite brand is Mooncat, and I mean, can you even look? It's so pretty. It's so freaking pretty. This color is House of Hades, Fake Halo, Sin Eater. It's so pretty. I'm normally not a glittery girl. I don't know if I come across as a girly girl or not, but I'm really not. Glittery shadows, I feel like, are a little bit more forgiving when you're not great at painting your nails, like me. They just don't show the imperfections like a solid polish would show. I tend to stick to glitter polishes on my nails just so you can't tell that I suck at painting my nails. Next product I've talked about before in a video, it's the Lumify eye drops. These eye drops just get rid of any redness in your eye. Not a necessity, okay? It is definitely not. It is a subtle detail, but my eyes do get a little red from eyeliner, mascara, whatnot. And so it just helps get rid of the little bit of redness I have. And I'll insert a picture of kind of a before and after, how much it improves on my eyes anyway. And that you can get at Walmart. The next product is the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. Great product to put on your lips when you're sleeping, just to help hydrate them just a little extra than like a normal chapstick. You can tell how much I use it. There's hardly any left. I do have a backup ready. They have different flavors. The next one I have is gummy bear, I think. Kind of excited about that. The next product is a skincare product. Now I'm going to go ahead and tell you this is an expensive product, and so I got sent a sample of it from a Sephora order, and y'all, they got me. How many samples really get you to go and buy that product? Probably not many. I know not many for me. It's the Guerlain Youth Watery Oil. I'm not even going to try to pronounce what the product is called, but I will list it down below. Y'all, when I say this product has changed my life, I love it, okay? It's is wonderful. A thin oil that does not feel like it's clogging your pores. It doesn't feel like it's heavy. It is just light. It gives good moisture to the skin. It gives you like a youthful glow. It's got a little bit of a perfume scent to it, but it's really subtle and it smells really good. All you gotta do is a couple drops on your hand, rub it and put it on your face. It doesn't take a whole lot of product, and even with my combination oily skin, it doesn't cause any breakouts or anything. I've noticed a big improvement in the condition of my skin. Now we're gonna move into makeup. First, we're gonna start off with primer. In the primer category, I do have a favorite product, but it's only for my areas where I have big pores, and that is the Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer. It's kind of like a wax, and you just take it and on your finger and rub it where you've got big pores, and it just fills them in, makes your skin smooth as glass. I will not be without this product, okay? He is my boyfriend, and I love him. Next up is my tinted sunscreen. It is the Alastin Skincare Hydra Tint Pro Mineral Sunscreen. SPF 36. Now, what I like about this product is that it doesn't have any chemical sunscreen. It's only mineral sunscreen. I had been using the brand Revision, their IntelliShade tinted moisturizer. It has mineral and chemical sunscreen in it, and the chemical sunscreen part was really irritating my eyes, causing them to be even more red than what they already are. So I have switched to the Alastin, and I really do enjoy it. It gives somewhere between light and medium coverage, so it's really good for those of us who don't need a whole lot of coverage. And it's also good on days where you don't want to do a full face of makeup. You know, slap some of this stuff on there, or get you a brow and a mascara and a lip gloss, and you're good to go. Also, you should be wearing sunscreen. That is your homework if you don't do it already. Next category is foundation. I have two I'm going to talk about. First off, you've seen me use this in previous videos. It's the CoverGirl and Olay Simply Ageless. It has hyaluronic complex and vitamin C, and it says it instantly reduces the appearance of wrinkles, improves tone, delivers firming moisture. So you've heard it from the CoverGirl and Olay people themselves. That's what you're going to get out of it. It's a great everyday foundation. It does not enhance any texture. It blends out really smooth. It's a really good option in the drugstore price range, and it's really good for all ages. The other foundation is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Makeup. So this one is a little bit higher in price, but let me tell you, this stuff lasts so long. This is the only one I will wear to work because I work 12-hour shifts. If you want your makeup to still be there and looking good at the end of a 12-hour shift, this is your girl. It gives us a natural finish to the skin, so it's not matte and it's not super dewy. The CoverGirl and Olay does the same kind of finish. Next up is concealer. I have a few different concealers that are pretty good, but I'll tell you, as soon as I got my Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer, I have not touched any other. She's perfect. If you want a creamy, full coverage concealer, this is it. It is the best one by far. Next up is powder. I've got two. For my under eyes, I've been loving my Givenchy Prismaline. It is a little pricey, but it gives you like an airbrushed finish to your face. I have the color number 3. It's a pink tinted powder, and it just makes the under eye look so smooth and bright. The other powder that I've been loving is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder, and I've got the color Light. I will also use this under my eyes if I don't feel like fooling with the Givenchy, but I also use this all over my face. The pink powder, I wouldn't use it on my entire face, just under the eyes. The pink can help cancel out any dark circles and help with brightening, but I don't want my whole face bright. We'll go ahead and knock out the brow product that I love, and there's a lot of them I do like, but the one that I reach for every day, and it's usually the only product that I put in my brows, is the e.l.f. Wow Brow. Like, it's so inexpensive from the drugstore, and it's so easy. It's got little fibers that'll help give a little bit of volume to your eyebrows. But you just brush them through, make sure they're shaped how you want them to shape, and like that's it. You're done. Really, really easy one and done product. Next up is a contour product. I don't always contour, but when I do, since I don't do it very often, e.l.f. has a great contour product. It's the Halo Glow Beauty Wand Contour, and I use the shade Fair Light because it's got a little bit more gray tone, and that's kind of what you want in a contour. The gray undertone helps give like a shadow appearance, and that's what you're doing. You're trying to carve out your face. It does have the sponge tip applicator, which can get a little bit messy, but for the price, I'll deal with it. For bronzers, I have a few favorites. I've got a couple of cream bronzers that I've loved, and a powder one. The first bronzer product is the Rare Beauty bronzer stick in the shade Bright Side. And let me tell y'all, if you haven't tried anything Rare Beauty, you need to get on it. For the quality of the product, the prices are really not bad at all. This bronzer here just blends out like a dream. It is so easy to use. I usually will put some on the back of my hand just to warm it up, and then dip my brush in and go to my face. But you really could go straight to your face and put it, you know, where you want it, and then blend it out. It blends that easy. The other cream bronzer product is the NARS bronzing cream in Laguna 2. This color is a little bit darker than the Rare Beauty one, and it's a little stiffer, and it's in a pot, but you get a ton of product. This one's got 19 grams, and the Rare Beauty's got 7 grams. Okay, so more than twice as much. It is a beautiful one. I tend to use this more so in the summer because of how dark it is. It's beautiful. Just to give you an idea of the shade difference. So you see how much darker that one is to the Rare Beauty. That's why the Rare Beauty, this shade anyway, Bright Side, is my winter shade. NARS, that's for the hotter months when I have a tan. Which I shouldn't be getting too much of a tan if I'm wearing my sunscreen, right? My favorite powder bronzer has been the Maybelline City Bronzer. I've used this in a video or two, so I'm sure that might not have been a shocker to y'all. I got the shade 200. A lot of powder bronzers tend to lean really orange, and this one doesn't. It's more of a neutral tan color, which I much prefer. I don't want an orange face. Next up is blush. Now, okay, let me just say, narrowing down blushes, eyeshadow palettes, and lip products, I had some difficulty. There were difficulties there. Favorite blushes. Okay. Blushes tend to fluctuate with season as well, right? So in the spring, summer months, I tend to go with more like peachy, coral type colors. And then in the winter, a little bit more muted colors, I guess you'd say. Here's the ones that I've been using here recently. So first up is the Rare Beauty. I don't know what the name of this product is. I guess it's just blush. The Rare Beauty blush in Hope. And it's this little mini bottle. I like getting minis if I'm not sure if I'm gonna like the product, if they've got the mini available. And the good thing about this one is that a little bit goes a long way. So this is gonna last a good little while. But it comes with a little like doe foot applicator. You just do 3 dots on your cheek and blend it out. It blends out really, really easily. This next blush is the one I'm wearing today. Now I do have a topper on top of it, which we'll talk about that too. But it is the Makeup by Mario, bear with me, Soft Pop Plumping Blush Veil. Like, why do we need such a long name? I don't understand it. The color is Rose Crush, and it is, so pretty. It blends out really well. It's got hyaluronic acid in it, so it's supposed to draw moisture to your cheeks to help plump them up. Whether it really does that, I don't know. The powder blush that I've been loving is by RMS Beauty. I have not found an RMS product that I don't like. So these are the Redimension Hydra Powder Blush, and this one is in the color Crystal Slipper. They all have like this sheen to them. Do you see that? Oh. Sometimes I'll wear it by itself as just a powder blush, and then sometimes I'll just do a lighter coat of it, or a lighter layer of it on top of a cream blush, just as like a topper. Moving on to highlight, I have a couple, and I'm just gonna go ahead and tell y'all, not this one, the other one, it's pricey. It is. It was my birthday present to myself because I really wanted it. But the first one we're gonna talk about is the Revlon Skin Lights. Look how shiny she is. Such a pretty like champagne gold. It's not too yellow. And this is a high impact highlight. Okay, it's not for the faint of heart. If you don't want to look like a disco ball, go in with a light hand. Okay, I'm just putting the warning out there. Now, if you do want to look like a disco ball, then by God, run out and get yourself this, because you will. Put it all over your face. Look how glowy and pretty. And from a drugstore. So good. So good. I love it. I haven't even had it that long, but it has completely like shoved all the rest of them out of the way, other than my pricey girl. Okay, now let's talk about my pricey highlight, and feel free to judge. I don't care. I will still use her every day with a smile on my face. It is the Chanel highlighter. It's massive. I mean, it's about as big as my face, okay? It's the oversized illuminating face powder in Precious Coral. You get a ton in here. So this is 14 grams. The Revlon is 8 grams, okay? So almost twice as much product. Still doesn't negate the price, but anyway, like, look how pretty she is. I do like using this as a blush topper, just a highlight. If I'm using some other blush topper, I will use it as an inner corner highlight. I will use it on the brow bone. I will use it on my eyes. I use it a lot. I'm gonna swatch it right next to the Revlon Skin Light so you can see the the difference, okay? So a lot more subtle. For a softer highlight, so pretty. It's the highlight I'm wearing today. Is it worth the price? Probably not. It's more a splurge than a justified product. But I love it, and I will use it until there is nothing left. Next up is eyeshadow palettes. I do have a good many. I don't know how many I have. I mean, I don't have so many that I can't count. I just have never counted them. And it was hard to narrow it down, but I narrowed it down to 4. And again, a range of price points. I pretty much just looked at what do I use the most. With that said, I'm going to start off with the palette that I am wearing today, and that is the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. When you look at this palette, it does look like it would be a little bit boring, but for everyday use and just the prettiest soft glam looks that aren't too colorful, like, oh, this shade in the middle called Muse, it is, do you see how freaking shiny that thing is? So beautiful. Every single eye look that I have come up with from that palette is just beautiful. The next palette is also Natasha Denona, but it's a mini. This one is the Mini Star palette, and I don't really use the gold too much. I mostly just use this. I'm not too big on golds on my eyes, not the yellowy type gold. If it's more of like a champagne gold, I will use it, but not so much on those. But this shade right here, this shade's got to be one of my favorite shades ever out of all my palettes. Like, can you even, is that not one of the prettiest shadows you've ever seen in your life? That shade alone is why I have been using this palette so much. Next up is my ColourPop Going Coconuts palette. So this one is just so good for an everyday neutral eye. It's got some shades that lean a little bit warmer, some that lean more neutral to cool. So you could really go in either directions. It's gonna flatter most people's eyes and skin tones. And this shade in the middle, Cocoa Crush, she's pretty. She's very pretty. Like, this is the palette that I go to when I'm not really sure what I want to do and I just want to get something done that I know is going to be pretty. A no-fail eyeshadow palette. I know that whatever I get out of there is going to look good. Last, but certainly not least, is this Pat McGrath palette. Her palettes are a little expensive, her Mothership palettes are, but I do not pay full price for this stuff. I will wait for it to go on sale. These Pat McGrath palettes are usually full price, $128. There's no way on this green earth that I'm going to pay that much for an eyeshadow palette. Now, even with a discount, they're still on the pricey side, but the quality is there. And again, this is nothing that you have to go out and purchase. This is the Mothership number 6, okay? And so this one was my first Mothership palette. And I have a few, but I still love this one so much. These 3 shades right here are gorgeous, which this one is too. There is a gold in here. I feel like I don't really use it too much, but this gold on top of this green, chef's kiss. Just swatch. Here is the gold. Here is that sparkly shade. Here is that bluish purple. Oh, so pretty. Here is the coppery shade. Yes. Yes. And then this dark, like olive green. She does have really, really, really good palettes. don't ever pay full price. She has sales quite often, and those will be up to like 40% off, and that's usually when I pick mine up. Next up is mascara. I feel like y'all are gonna know what products I'm gonna pick if you've watched my videos. First up is my mascara primer. It's the Too Faced Better Than Sex Foreplay. It's instant lengthening, lifting, and thickening mascara primer. And it's black in color, which most mascara primers are white. And I feel like when you go over it with regular mascara, you're still, maybe I'm just, you know, unskilled, but I feel like I always see white specks here and there. Like I can't quite get my mascara to cover the white primer. So I really like that this one's black, and then it does exactly what it says it does on top of it not being white. And then my two favorite mascaras, we know the Clio Kill Lash. It's the Super Proof mascara. Great drugstore price. It's got a really small wand, so it's really easy to get the lower eyelashes and not make a complete mess if you are kind of clumsy with your mascara. And then my other one's the Benefit Fan Fest. This is a mini. I picked up the mini because it was available and I wanted to make sure that I liked it. But also, I feel like a lot of mascaras dry out way before you've used like most of the products. So get a mini, and then by the time they dry out, then usually you're about done with the product anyway. Lastly, for eyes, we'll talk about eyeliner. Now, I can't really say these have been my favorite just for this year because they've been my favorite for years, but I wanted to include them because there still hasn't been anything that has come close to beating how good they are. And that's the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On eye pencils. Because these are pricier than what you would find in a drugstore, I tend to get the just neutral type colors. That way I'm not getting a bright purple one and then hardly ever using it. Okay, like this one. This is drugstore. I've got black, brown, and navy, which are the most common colors that I use in my waterline. So these will forever repurchase unless something else shows that it's better. But for my fun colors and drugstore price, I love the Maybelline Tattoo Studio eyeliners. They are really good. You glide them on, and when they set, they set. Now, they're not as great for the waterline, so I'll usually do right underneath my lower lashes, and then I'll smudge it out with a smudger brush. But these are really good, so this is what I'll go with for my fun colors. And that way, if I don't end up using it, I'm not out so much money. That wraps up eyes. Let's move on to lips. Okay, I have a few different categories, okay? First up, lip liner. It's been all about the drugstore for lip liner. Today, I'm wearing the LA Girl Perfect Precision lip liner in the color Blushing, and I've topped it off with a gloss, which I will get to. The LA Girl and the NYX lip pencils have been it for me. And they all look very similar, but they're cheap as heck. I mean, they're like a couple dollars. You cannot go wrong. And they have great shade range. So it's kind of like a why not. Next up is lipsticks. Now, I haven't been wearing a ton of lipstick, but there are a few that I have been wearing. So this one is one I wore in my holiday look video. It's Trini London Lip to Cheek in the color Freddy. And it's a beautiful berry. You can use it on your cheeks as well. I find the product just a little bit too stiff to do that. I can, but it takes a little bit more work, and I've got other blushes that are pretty close to that color So if I want something that color on my cheeks, I just go with one of my other products. But it is a really pretty, like, pinky berry. The next one, almost like the Clinique Black Honey, but it's more opaque. And it is the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip Cream. And the color is Honeysuckle. I love a dark berry lip on myself. You can see, like, it's... Oh. The last one is by RMS, the same one that made that the blush that I love. And this one is in the shade Miranda. And this lipstick is different from any other lipstick that I've ever used. It's got almost like a cooling effect. It feels like you're just putting a thin cooling chapstick on your lips. It does not feel like you're putting like some thick, heavy lipstick on. And the color, of course, is beautiful. Can you see how pretty? It's a little bright, but it's so freaking pretty. Next category is lip balms, and then we have lip glosses, and then we're done. Okay. All the lip products. There's 3 lip balms that I have been loving. First up is the YSL Rouge Volupté Candy. Okay, we're just gonna call it Candy Glaze. Okay. Now this says it's a lipstick, but it is not. It is sheer, it's glossy, it's a balm, okay? It's not a lipstick. And this one is in the shade 13. I do have another one in the shade 5. Yeah, one's a little bit more pink and the other one's a little bit more peach. They look very similar in the light, don't they? Let me swatch them and maybe you'll be able to see the difference. So, okay, you can see it a little bit more. So the top one is the shade 13. Yeah, that's the more peachy one, and then this one's the shade 5. But you can see, I mean, they're pretty sheer and glossy. I don't know. I just don't consider them the lipstick, okay? YSL, I have a problem with what you're labeling your product as, even if I love it. Next up is Makeup by Mario and their Moisture Glow Plumping Lip Serum Lip Balm. Again, Makeup by Mario. Why, not that you're watching my video, but like, why does your products have to have a name that's this freaking long? Like, can we streamline? This one is in the shade Nude Glow, and it's a really good, like when I say it's nude, like it is nude. I like using this if I'm using like a more pink type lip liner, or even like a darker brown one to kind of get like a 90s lip going. Okay, this is my top lip balm. It is the Naturium Phyto Glow Lip Balm, and the color I have is hibiscus, but I need more. I need more colors. I have this on my lips today with the blushing lip liner, and then I topped it off with a gloss that I'll tell you about. The formula is so thick and moisturizing, and it is so pretty on the lips, and they've got a really good color selection. They don't have this, you know, really strong scent, and they're $10. I don't know if you can beat that. I don't know. Last category are my 3 top lip glosses. I'm pretty sure I've used this in a video before, but it's the Revolution Baby Gloss. These are just, I mean, there's nothing super spectacular about them, but I like the size. They're super inexpensive. They're just a pretty gloss. Just like them a lot. Next up is the NYX Butter Gloss, and the shade I have is Creme Brulee, which is what I've got on my lips today. It's just the prettiest, smoothest pink. For glittery gloss, I like the Fenty Beauty. What are they called? Gloss bombs. This one is in the shade Cheeky. It is not as scary as it looks. When I first saw this color, I was like, oh god. But when you put it on your lips, let's see, where can I go here? It's more of like a corally type color with some glitter in it. Thank y'all so much. If you've watched to the end, bless you. We've gone through a lot of products, but I love all of the products that I mentioned. They'll be listed in the description below, and I'll also list the shade names that I have of everything. Please let me know if you have any questions. Leave them down below, and let me know what your go-tos are. Any of the products that I've listed, tell me, because I want to know if I'm missing out on something. Do you have information that I need? I need to know this. Okay. Before you leave, make sure you like the video and subscribe. Thank you so much for being here, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.